What is up, guys? My name is Wingless Prune, otherwise known as Sitting Duck 01. This is probably about take 107. I've tried this so many times, but anyway, I'm just going to talk about BRs in War Thunder. I've noticed that new players to War Thunder don't really notice the BR or battle ratings of vehicles when they first play it. And let's be honest, it is a little bit hidden. You don't really know what this little number is at the bottom. You don't really look at that. And what that is basically a battle rating for your vehicle. So what it will do is if you join an air arcade battle that is battle rating 2.3, it will put you against enemies that have similar BR ratings to yours. Now what a lot of players do in the beginning, what I have seen so far, is they forget to look at that number. And what happens is, for example, if I look at France, my French lineup, I have got 1.3, a 1.3, a reserve, and a 1.3. Cool, that's not bad. Because what happens with BR is it can up tier you 1 BR higher, for example. So if I go into a fight with a BR of 1.3, the highest it can put me in to a battle is a BR 2.3. Now what that means is my 1.3 might struggle a little bit against 2.3s, but it's not going to be crazy. It's going to be manageable. The problem is when you start researching and you get better planes and you're like, oh wow, cool, yeah, I want this plane, this is a 3.3, and you go and put it in your lineup. I don't even know if I have one. There we go. So you go and put that in your lineup and you're like, cool, I've got a brand new plane, it looks really cool, and you go and click to battle, but you forget to look at air arcade battles. It is now a battle rating of 3.3. Now what this does is it will put me in anything between 3.3 to 4.3. Cool. I go and I fly this plane, I get shot down, I get killed. Now what do I have? Now I have to spawn in one of these guys. Now can you imagine a 1.3 versus a 3.3? You're not really going to stand much of a chance, at least in most cases. So what I like to do when I'm researching, and this is where it all falls down, is when you're doing some research, we'll use my US lineup as an example. What you'll do is when you research, don't just run down a line and research it, try and get what you can. It will eventually block you and say you have to get another vehicle or whatever. But what you want to try and do when you're doing your research is when you unlock a new plane, let's say a 2.0, don't keep just that 2.0 in your lineup, because what you're going to end up is you're going to end up with something like this. You're going to have a 2.3, a 2.0, a 2.0, and a reserve with a 5.0 vehicle, and you're not going to really have much fun, because when your 5.0 gets destroyed, you're going to struggle with your little 2.3. Alright, so what you want to do is research vehicles, try and keep them in line with each other. So what I have done is I've gone and researched 2.0, I haven't flown it, but I've gone to research this 2.0 and I haven't flown it. Maybe I go and get the 1.7. Cool. Now I've got 3 planes I can take into battle. That'll be a BR of 2.0. Now the 1.7 will be okay, obviously depending on the aircraft, it will be okay to fly in that battle. So just keep in mind to keep your BRs close to each other, and do not do this, because now you can see air arcade battle is a 5.0 and I only have one 5.0. Try and keep it in line. For example, look at my British lineup. Now, what will happen is, I'm now rated at a 2.3 BR. So the 2.3, 2.0, 2.3, 2.3, 2.3. Cool, that's all good. I have a pretty decent 2.3 lineup. I do have a 2.0, but it'll do alright. I've got another 2.3, 2.3, and then I've got a bomber. Right, cool. Sorted. This lineup is great. Now, another thing that happens is your friends can actually be your enemies. Let's say you're streaming on Twitch or you're streaming on YouTube and someone's like, hey man, can I please join you? And you're like, yeah, sweet. And they join you. Now, what happens is they might not realize what BR you're busy playing. It will put you into the battle with the highest BR. So if I have a lineup of 2.3s and my buddy jumps in with a 5.0, even though I have 2.3s, it's going to go and place me into a 5.0 battle. So he's going to be good. Your friend is going to have a good time with his 5.0, but you are definitely going to struggle with your 2.3s. So just make sure that when somebody does join you and they want to be in your squad, make sure that before you click this button, you have a look over here and make sure that the BR is good enough for you, right? You don't want to enter into a battle where you're just not going to have any fun, because I can just enter into a battle like this, for example, or my 6.0, 5.3, what, and you're going to struggle with your 2.3s. Cool. That is one tip. Just keep in mind as well that when you're researching, I know it's, you want to get to your favorite plane and you want to put that in your lineup and you want to fly with that plane, but just remember your reserves and your 1.0s and sometimes even your 1.7s with a 2.3 might struggle. Obviously not in every case, but that's it basically. So always keep in mind to have a look at the BR or battle rating of your aircraft. And that's it, really. That's all I really wanted to speak to you guys about. Obviously, with simulation battles, if you go into a simulation battle, for example, the aircraft rating will tell you there, and there will be a select vehicles that you can take. So you don't really have to worry about BRs. Same with if you go into air simulation and you have a look, it'll be a 3, for example. Okay, this is created by humans, so it's probably going to be bad. But for example, there's a 3 over there. That means that this BR is 3.7 to 4.7. You cannot take anything else. If I go into this battle with this lineup, it's going to probably give me one reserve kind of like plane that I can fly with. But for the most part, you want to make sure that you have your lineup set for that battle. But that's another story, simulation, right? We're just talking about arcade and realistic, because that's where most new players tend to start playing, is arcade and realistic. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Catch me live on Twitch. My name is SittingDuck01. Yeah, cool. So I'm happy with that. This is like recording number 108, I think. Awesome. Cheers, guys.